Having an attitude of gratitude is so important, and here's one of the reasons why. When we thank God, we admit that we depend on Him, and it's a direct antidote for our pride. Deuteronomy 8:10 tells us about how God warned Israel not to forget Him after entering the Promised Land. When you have eaten and are satisfied, do not forget the Lord your God. Gratitude reminds us that every blessing comes from God's hand, not our own effort. I had a conversation a few weeks ago with a pastor, and we were discussing the topic of revival, as he had been very active as a participant of it in the Jesus movement in the 70s. I asked him, why does revival stop? He said it dies when we are no longer desperate for Jesus. How many of us can say we are or have been desperate for God at some point in our life? Most of us came to salvation out of desperation. And if you're desperate today, is it for an answer from God, or you're desperate for something from God? A job, a significant other, a scholarship, a miracle? In our seasons of desperation, we grow so close to Jesus. Jesus loves those moments with us. I heard a story one time of a man who took his son on a walk around a lake. And when they got halfway around the lake, it began to pour like a monsoon of rain. And the whole time his child is just screaming in terror for the 1.5 miles they have to walk to get back to their house. But the whole time the father is saying, "It's okay, buddy. We're gonna make it. It's gonna be okay." And he just held him. And that moment for the father is still a moment he cherishes deeply. But at the time, for his young son, it was borderline traumatic. But in those moments where we're desperate like that son, are so treasured and precious to the Father. Sometimes when we get what we want, we're just not desperate anymore. That child was desperate in that moment. But because sometimes we're not seeking Jesus, we're seeking an answer or a thing, and once we get it, we feel like we don't need Him anymore. Sometimes we seek His hand instead of His face. And here's what I would remind us all of today. All Jesus has ever wanted is you. He loves you unconditionally. He likes you. He's proud of you. He came to earth for you. He died for you. He rose for you so that you may have life, and life abundantly.